How's it going, friends and family of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Real AF podcast, the show where we talk about the crap. I screwed it up. You know what? Let's keep it. Just keep rolling.
Yep. Let's just get it.
Welcome to the Real AF podcast, the show where we talk about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm Josh Labaugh. On the other side, I got
Tim Wagner.
Tim. We're back at it again. We
Mm-hmm.
managed to do a second episode.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? I feel pretty damn good. I think we can do this.
Yeah, I feel good about it too. I feel kind of shitty about the first one in the sense that I was playing Pokemon Go while we were talking, and you were like, "Hey, we never got to how are you doing? So how are you doing?" And I was like, "Good." And then that's it. like,
No,
n-
I told you
never
that's
never
I take
reciprocated.
responsibility. I take responsibility for keeping it moving. Like
Oh no, but I
I
should.
feel like I'm the pacemaker.
Yeah, whatever. I should have. There was time. I listened back to it. There was time, but I was busy playing the video game, so whatever. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good. I started work back again full time.
Yeah.
And so that's been a change
Mm,
from just creating, but
right.
uh, this isn't gonna. I still want to keep doing this because even like right now we're doing this kind of late. I think we can keep as long as it works for you. It's gonna work for me. Dang it! Had to tank the freaking tripod.
I heard. I heard
That was
some-
probably so loud.
it didn't sound loud to me, but I enjoyed the whole. Like it almost just sounded like somebody hit one of those triangles. You're just like, I think
Oh
this is
yeah.
gonna work. Ting, dang it!
I forgot to tell you, we got a band now, so let's throw it to the band.
I threw it to the house band. We got Joe on triangle, and that's it. Hit it, Joe.
And
Oops.
I just heard your computer make some kind of
Yeah,
noise too.
that was my phone, I think.
Oh, okay.
Gotta
That's like an
turn it
old. I
down.
was gonna say. I think. What are you running? Windows 3.1 over there? That's a nerd joke for all you nerds out there.
Yeah, nerds. No, that's what Facebook does, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I got another weird noise too. Like it keeps happening, and I don't know what it is. I never heard it before, but I'll be in Facebook and then back out, and it makes a noise that sounds a lot like you're getting a coin in a video game. And I say getting a coin, not
Really?
specifying like Mario or in Sonic or anything, because it's not exactly that, but that's what it sounds like. Like you made a
Mm-hmm.
new video game and you're like, he needs to get a coin, we need to have something close, and that's what it sounds like. And I don't know why it does it. It's just like a bling,
It's weird. Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
That's
like,
really weird.
yep, no idea what it
Is
is.
Facebook paying you to be on there? That's what it is. They're losing users so quickly.
They're just like, please, there's
Please,
there's
here's 2 pennies just to open the app. That's
there's,
all I
there's
ask.
money in your account. How do I access my account? Stop asking questions, nerd. This is why you don't have any
uh,
friends, Facebook.
this is this is why Tom, you lost all your friends. Oh
Tom
wait,
lost all friends.
different.
Everybody on Facebook has friends. Facebook does not have any friends.
Right.
I don't know what I'm
Uh,
talking about.
nope. Yep. That was
went,
as I was going to say. And with that, we'll move on.
went off the rails.
Like I
So
said, I hope that we do that. I want to do that. I don't. I'm not just
yeah,
going to jump into it, dude.
no, we need to go on off the rails, but on better topics. Need no no need to riff on a couple of jokes off of Facebook, and they're bad ones at that. Just saying
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
No. Yeah. And we lost them. How many minutes in are we? 2? Oh, and they're gone.
Right,
And now it's just me and you talking into cyberspace.
right. Well, before you leave, if you could make sure tell your friends to check out our podcast, that'd be great. So we could get to 4 listeners.
Or even better yet, like us on Facebook.
Right. Like us on Facebook. That ought to solve all our problems.
Uh, well, okay, the two topics today, because we're going to, our fishing topic is just fishing in Minnesota. That's what I want to just talk about because I
Yes.
think obviously we have a skewed perspective being
Hmm.
Minnesotans our whole lives and growing up fishing here.
Yep.
But I got numbers and things, and
Mm.
I think it's going to back up kind of what we're feeling. And our
Yeah.
random take of the podcast will be Disney. Big old Disney.
Yeah.
They're doing some fun stuff right now during lockup. Everybody is doing some weird stuff with lockup. So we'll get into that, but it's not going to just be about being locked down.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear what you got to say because I don't know what they're doing. So we'll get
All
into
right.
that.
Easy enough.
I know
Let's talk
about all
about
the little
Minnesota
kid
fishing.
stuff.
Yeah, well, no, that's me too. I mean,
Yep.
I just totally only give a shit about the animation.
No,
That's
I
it.
mean like we'll get into it when we get to that part. But my son turned 2 years old today, so I know
Oh,
about.
that's right. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thanks. Yeah. He's.
Tell him happy birthday
I will tomorrow because he should be
tomorrow
sleeping
morning.
by the
Yeah, I
time we're
know.
done with
Don't,
this.
yeah, don't wake him up.
Right. Shh.
Shh.
Quiet. But yeah, fishing.
Yeah, let's talk about Minnesota fishing and our skewed perspective from the land of 10,000 lakes. Funny thing is, I was talking to somebody from Michigan
Yeah.
just for yesterday. I don't know. I was talking to someone from Michigan the other day, and she said, well, at least they're letting us go fishing now. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, what? They
Yeah. They
never
were.
took that away from us.
They didn't take it away from Michigan either. They made it so you couldn't take out a powered boat, from my understanding.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
she said.
yeah, they wouldn't let you take out the boats with motors, which was real weird because you could still go fishing if you had a kayak or a canoe or a paddle boat. If you didn't have a motor, you could still go out, which I think their thought was let's make it so you don't go to the gas station or something. That's what I heard in Minnesota too, where they're like, try
Mm,
to stay in your local area, don't drive places and, you're getting gas and you're getting bait and all
mm,
this other stuff, you're coming in contact with a bunch of stuff. And I think
mm-hmm,
their idea was like if you have a rowboat, you'll just go drop it in the water or,
without going, you'll go straight to the water. You'll go into water. That's it.
right, you'll just go straight to the water and then be done with it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Well,
what
that's.
that's what I was going to try to do. Like, um,
Mm-hmm,
I tried to go crappie fishing on Saturday, and I was like, I'm
mm-hmm,
just gonna grab artificials that I already have. I'm gonna try to be responsible like they want to, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna try to hit some of the more aggressive fish that everybody else is missing because the crappie spawn is going on right now, and traditionally everybody bobber fishes for that using crappie minnows. And I was gonna go and try to do a little bit something different, but the spot that I knew of was so damn packed that I literally couldn't find any room on the shoreline. So that
mm.
was a failure. I was just like, well,
That sucks.
I guess I don't fish here. Just there's literally no space for me to fish.
Right.
So,
Yeah. You went to the spot and there's, like you said, there's just no space
no, and
because
everybody was like,
especially there's need for so much more space right now in this weird time that you, damn.
right, yeah, it's not like you could get real close. Like, you couldn't, I mean, you can't really be shoulder to shoulder with people, anyways, like 6 feet. If you're within
Hmm.
6 feet of the next fisherman, you're too damn close, anyways. But the, the,
Yeah, that's
the
actually going to be a second part to this thing that I want to. You know what? The hell with it. Let's jump into that part where I want to talk about spots because for me, I don't I don't I don't really get it as we talked about in the first podcast is I don't get all the lore and stuff, I know the basics behind it having grown up here,
Mhm.
but there's always that the secret spot and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And we even talked about it from the video game where, like you had to wander and get lost in the fog to find this secret spot. And I looked up the okay, I looked at the DNR website, the Minnesota DNR website, and they just have top 10 lakes. And it says with a combined surface area of 825,000 acres, Minnesota's 10 largest lakes account for 40% of the annual statewide walleye harvest. That's what we do here, right? Makes
Mhm.
$2.4 billion dollars on just those 10 lakes,
Yup.
which is absolutely crazy. First
Yup.
of all, it
Mhm.
makes a lot. That's not going to happen this year. That's a bummer. Uh, but they list the 10 lakes. And I know people who are just like, oh, no, this is the lake over there, just over there. And you're like, oh, yeah, is it this lake? And they're like, yeah, it's the one over there. Like, they
Right.
won't even tell you the lake they were on when they hit their
Mhm.
limit of crappies 3 weeks
Mhm.
ago. And it's like, wait, what? What's going on? What's your perspective on that? Because I don't totally understand it, actually.
I think it's just the fishermen. It's I don't know. Some people are just weird. I'm not one of those guys. I'll I'll tell you where I'm fishing, how I caught them. Like when you're on a tournament or whatever, I can get it, you know, or even when we're out on the water on a certain day. Like if I'm pulling in some fish on a certain spot, like I'm not necessarily going to make a lot of noise in hopes that I don't have a lot of other boats come and mess up my spot. But that's just because in that regards, I don't want people coming and sitting right on like my contour line, like the certain depth. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
Yeah.
I'm fishing in 20 feet and I want to just keep moving at 20 feet, I don't want people to know that I'm there because then I'm gonna have people sitting in the same spot that I am, and now I'm trying to go around other boats and stuff. That's where I get at. Like I just don't want you in my spot when I'm fishing it, just because I want to be able to do what I want to do. But
Yeah, and that part is totally where I'm on board.
yeah,
Is just like you said, if you're within 6 feet of a fisherman, anyway, you're too damn
right,
close.
right,
That's not
yeah,
how fishing works.
yeah, right.
That I get.
Yeah, but some of those guys, dude, I don't know. I think it's, I think it's a lot of like trying to make themselves seem better than they are. You know, no,
Ah,
no, I found this
oh
spot. It's a
man.
secret spot. I
Mm-hmm.
know how to catch fish. I'm not going to tell you how I
Mm-hmm.
did it or where I did it. You're just going to know that I caught them. I'm going to show you pictures, but you will never know my spot. You'll never know. You'll never know the lake. And there's
And
like,
you'll never know how to catch a
yeah,
fish that big because if you don't have my spot, you'll never outdo me. And it's just like a trophy game for them almost.
yeah. I really don't
Yeah.
know. There's I there was a guy I worked with one time uh in the past, and do you know Babe Winkleman or of the name?
No, that does not. No, that doesn't sound
Okay.
familiar.
So a lot of Minnesotans, a lot of fishermen are probably going to know Babe Winkleman. I don't know how big he was as a whole as far as like regional goes. He was a Minnesota fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
He had his
Oh,
own
okay.
show. Like he was pretty popular. So I think a lot of Minnesota fishermen are going to know who he was, but I don't know how much it went outside of that. But
Mm-hmm.
the guy that I
Okay.
worked with had fished with Bay Winkleman like when they were younger, and he was trying to tell me about how they're not friends anymore, and it's all because he showed him some technique that he used that was really worked well for him and stuff. And then Babe was like, cool. And then he like used it. And then Babe goes and shows that technique on his show. Like, hey, everybody, this technique works. Watch this. And
No.
this guy was all like, and now we're not friends because he went and told the whole world. He's like, can you believe that? And I'm just like, well, yeah. I mean, he's got a fishing show where he shows people how to fish. Why would he not show them some
Right.
technique that works? And the guy like
Yeah.
got mad at me. He's like, what do you mean? Like, if I show you something, you're going to tell people? And I'm like, I'm probably. I don't know. If you show me something I don't know, I might show
Right.
somebody in the future. I know a lot of things about fishing, and not very many of them I learned on
Yeah.
my own. It's all out there
Yeah.
from
And I
other people.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I think that people sort of stumble into something that is already well known, and a generous person who is already a bit better than you at a certain task
Yep,
will just
yep,
go, "Oh yeah, yep, yeah, uh-huh," and
yep.
not go, "Yeah, you dummy, I've been doing that for 10 years."
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's not a secret.
Yeah,
It's like this is just like the pre-Google world or something. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yep. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what it is, where people just don't want to give you the their so-called secrets because they're nothing special.
Yeah.
You know, I highly, highly doubt that there's something another fisherman's gonna tell me where I'm gonna be like, really? That's what you do?
Yeah, and
I'm
when you say another fisherman, you mean just like the dude at the bar or the neighbor
yeah,
across the
just
street.
just
Like,
anybody, even pros. Like
yeah,
it's just real small tips that'll change something or just to hear what they do. It's like, "Oh, that makes sense," you know? But it's nothing super out of the ordinary, you know? It's
there's no
just
revolution. Like,
yeah,
there's not a
no.
revolutionary technique where you're
Mm-mm.
paying like $100 behind a paywall or something.
Right, no. And a lot of people out there, I've heard some people like the ones that are willing to tell you their secrets where they tell you a secret that they really think that it's something special like you know what I do is I get one of those little uh, dipsy doos and I put a minnow on it like people normally do, but then what I also do is I get the power bait crappie nibbles and I put one of those on there. You're just like, so you just put a little extra scent on it. That's all you
Right.
do. Like you just put a little bit more bait on your hook. Like
Yeah.
that's not any different. You just chose to use a different bait. Some guys will use
Hmm.
multiple minnows. Some guys will put, you know, a
Right.
worm on it with a minnow. I don't know. People do weird stuff. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
You can just
I guess.
experiment. Like,
Yeah. None of that
it's not
surprised
a
me.
revolution.
Right. Yeah. But I don't know,
And it's not to
man.
say that it's not useful in a tutorial, but to treat it like it's a trade
Oh,
secret, like you're the
yeah.
first one to
Right.
ever do this. That's the thing, and that's why I don't get about the spots too. Is just like you're not the fucking only one fishing this spot, and it's not like your spot's just gonna blow up because you
Right.
told
Yeah.
me who the. I
Yeah.
mean, even like in a hypothetical world, this channel has tons of followers, right? You you don't necessarily broadcast your location when you have the chance of actually influencing like a flash mob. But
Right. Yes.
you
I
also
won't.
do not ever reach the like dude, there's people all over the place and that spot is going to get fish no matter what. It's not like Lake
Right.
Minnetonka has any secret spots anymore. There's thousands of people on that lake in the summertime.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, hypothetically, like if there was a ton of people listening to this and I gave them the name of one lake, I am not going to do that because I don't want the people on that lake getting pissed off that I said something about that lake or whatever. You know, I, it's that's just one of those things where it's like kind of common courtesy because there are so many people that get mad and like the I get the appeal of like
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
wanting a ton of boaters out in front of your place when you're just trying to relax or whatever. But if I'm fishing and you figure out where I'm
Right.
at because you see a picture of me or whatever, I who cares? I don't care. And
Yeah. Well,
or if you
you
saw me
already
in
said the
person and
lake
you're
that
like,
you
"What lake
fish
were you
most of the
on?"
time.
Yeah, Lake Shamina. That's I'm on there all the time and if
Right.
people were listening to this and they heard about it, it's not going to change the boat flow any. That's a super clear water lake and there's a church camp on it and there's so many
Right.
recreational vehicles already on there. Like by all means, it has all the makings of a lake that's not easy to fish. So if you want to show up and give it your go, I don't care. Show up. The you're you can have a nice sunny day and you're still gonna have big waves because of all the wakeboard boats and there's muskie on it, but the water is pretty clear and you're most definitely gonna get more follows than you will catch, fish.
Yeah, yeah, because those
Because
the muskies spook pretty easy, right? Once they get to the surface, they catch a wind.
yeah,
Like,
well, not really spook easy. I think they're a little bit more cautious. The fishing pressure
mm,
and with the clear water, like
mm-hmm,
I think they've had time to see the lures. I think it's not the first time they've seen the lures.
mm.
I think in
And it's
dirtier,
clear water, so
yeah,
they
in
can see
dirty,
it. Like it's almost
yeah.
like they have the memory of it,
Well, in dirtier water too, it's kind of more sometimes a reaction bite. Like they don't have enough time to think. Like it's passing by and they're like, I need to smash that.
and they just, yep,
Where in the clear water, like they're following it because they're just, I don't know if they're waiting for it to do something that they want it to do, or I don't think they're smart enough to follow it to the boat to see if there's a fisherman, because if you figure eight, people can
no,
catch them. I've
mm-hmm,
never had a figure eight work, but I've only fished in that lake, and I think part of the reason it doesn't work for me is because they can see that rod swinging around down there.
yeah.
Even
I
if
mean,
they
that
come,
could be,
even
but
if they,
also like for predators, a lot of predators they actually just will take the weak bait. So if it, I don't know how to fish muskie, or if this is if they go by the same rules, but like the, if it doesn't show any weakness, the whatever, there's going to be
yeah,
more, and they'll
well,
just
yeah,
walk
I
away
mean, you
from it
want to,
or swim away from it. In this case, you know what I mean?
right, yeah, I mean, with all fish, really, well, except for like panfish, they're, they kind of hit stuff anytime. But
They don't care.
yeah, like sunfish don't seem to give a shit. Like I've watched them eat bird poop. Just something hits the water and they attack it. So
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
yeah, but um, you know, it, it all depends on on the day. Like sometimes a straight retrieve will catch them.
Hmm.
Sometimes changing direction, making it a little bit different, so it looks like it's injured or whatever. That might trigger them, but that's a whole different topic. As far as giving away
Yeah,
spots go, um, it's just I think it's all just personality. Like some people will,
that's.
some people won't,
Hmm.
and the people that won't, for the most part, I haven't met a lot that I like. I have not met a lot of
There, yeah,
people
they.
that are like, I'm not gonna tell you how I did it. I just did it, and you need to know that my fish are awesome, and just like
Yeah, it has
whatever.
this braggadocious feel about it. That's
Yeah, it's a
just
very
it's not.
egotistical
It's.
thing. Yeah, like
Hmm.
that's another thing.
They're
Like
not compatible. You're not
yeah,
compatible with me, people.
right.
That's such a
I found
that's
this,
such a
right.
like snowflake thing to say is we're not compatible. But like seriously though, it's just like we can't be friends.
Yeah, right. And it's something about like I found this spot, and I'm not gonna tell you where it is, because I found it. It's mine. You know.
Well, yeah,
It's like
that's
what?
exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like about Lake Minnetonka, no matter how many bays are on that lake, there's thousands of people out there. Like there's so many people just driving around that lake with nothing better to do, recreating on that lake with nothing except for just going fast on their jet ski. It's just like, trust me, your spot's been found. Even if they are just doing recreation, there's going to be a
Right.
jet skier that comes in there. There's going to be another fisherman that picks up on it because
Mm-hmm.
he's bored too and
Yep.
looking for a new spot. There's going to be people who are just randomly cruising because they're retired and they have nothing else to do, and they're going to see two or three people over there and like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And it's like, trust me, it's not a secret. Up north, maybe, but that's a different story. And you're not going to go and like you only have to go to the VFW afterwards or the local bar, and you're not going to go tell Twitter. You know what I mean? Like fishing Twitter's
Right.
not going to find out about your spot. It's just not going to
Mm-mm.
happen.
No.
They have nothing to
Most
worry
people
about.
don't. Most people don't even give a shit. It's like
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say too, is just most people aren't trying to like bag on your spot, or they're not gonna go share it either. They're just kind of curious.
yeah,
If if you take a picture of some really bomb ass chicken wings and I text you, nice, where'd you get those wings? You're not gonna be like, found it.
right, bro. I can't tell you my
You
spot. They were so
can't blow
good,
up
but
my chicken wing spot.
mm-mm. You think I'm gonna let you know where they are and you can go and buy all the chicken wings, bro? No, they're my chicken wings. I'm gonna save them for myself. I want there to be chicken wings there for me for years to come, buddy. I don't want you to go and wing out my area.
Wing out my area. That's what I took away from that.
Yeah, but
Oh my god.
the flip side, two things I want to clarify real quick. When I'm
Yeah.
talking about giving away like techniques and whatever and stuff, I'm not ragging on instructional videos and stuff. If you're telling me I like to use this color when I do this, or I like to do this, like there are real reasons that you could say that stuff. I like to
Hmm.
use a little bit bigger bait in this situation, whatever it might be. So I just want to clarify that I'm not ripping on stuff like that because I'm going to be doing videos like that myself, and I don't want it to seem like that there's going to be
Right,
like
right, right.
hypocritical things like why is he doing this? He said he doesn't like it. No, I'm
Just
talking about
right.
people acting like it's a super big secret and telling people like that's what you need to do. You don't know for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for
You
sure.
had
Yeah, that's the way
success,
I took it.
right? And you
Hmm.
had success doing something. You don't know if that little thing that you added on there was extra. But the thing that I will be doing and the thing that I hear all the pros doing when they're talking about it is that everybody says, in my opinion, because that's all it is.
Hmm.
None of this is fact. You may have caught more fish that given day doing that given thing, but you don't know exactly what caught all those extra fish because you can replicate that exact same thing 2 days from now and it might not catch a fucking thing.
Right. Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. And that's the other reason why I don't like the the secretness of it, like you said, that like treating it like it is a big secret or treating like I have this revolutionary technique and it's just like, dude, two night crawlers is not a revolutionary technique.
right,
That's
right.
you just got lucky on the day.
Yep, yep. And the other thing I
Anybody
wanted
could
to
have thought of
say,
that.
and the other thing I wanted to say too is I'm not the pros. If a pro says I fish this, like if they don't want to tell you what lake they're fishing or where they were at, I totally agree with that because there's a difference between like not because they're tournament fishermen, but because they're famous. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
a
for
movie
sure,
star,
exactly.
a movie star isn't gonna be like I'm gonna be at TGI Fridays because I know they all like to hang out there.
Hmm.
Uh,
Right. No, no,
that
you're
yeah,
dead on there. Is like
except for that was a
that
joke.
was what I was trying to say about like let's say hypothetic. There's a lot of people here that listen to this and stuff like that. Like y- you said exactly what I was trying to get across is that like people
Yeah,
will flash mob that if you say the wrong thing because they're
right.
hoping for this and that. Like, oh, this person who's super successful at this thing
Hmm.
is going to be at that spot at this time. Bam, I'm there.
Right.
That
Yes.
will cause a
Yep.
problem. That's not
Yeah.
respecting
If
the
nothing.
space. And that's what you're
Right.
really talking about.
Hmm. Well, and when you're a
That
fisherman
makes
too,
sense.
like it's a competitor. It's a competitor thing. So you got
Hmm.
double. You got people showing up not only to see you, but people to show up and try to catch a fish next to you and be like, "Yo, Ike and Nelly, I just pulled a 3 pounder out. I didn't see you catch nothing. What, bro?"
Right. Yes. It becomes a competition to one up the pro. And
Right.
oh, that's the worst. Those are the people that won't tell you that they were just fishing Tiger Lake over there. And instead of, they'll just go, that's
Hmm.
out east, just out east.
Hmm.
I'm making that up. All of that is completely fiction as far as I know.
Out east. Huh?
Honestly, I'm not just saying that. I just said Tiger because of Tiger King reference earlier before we started recording.
Yeah. Which neither of us have seen, so we can't really talk on
So
that.
So that's what we got on Tiger King. That sweet reference right there.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about Minnesota quick as a fishing state because we do rep that land of 10,000 lakes. Shit, it's in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And from that perspective, I have always thought we have to be one of the best, if not the best in the nation. Being a
Yeah.
not that large of an area state, you kind of have to believe we can't be the best, but we do have Lake Superior. Lake Superior is not counted by the Minnesota DNR. Wonder because they probably have no jurisdiction up, or they can't have no jurisdiction up there, but it's not technically our water, I'm guessing. Do you know how that works at all?
Well, it's on the border, so
Right. I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't. I
yeah.
really don't know.
Yeah, me neither. It's weird, but I just noticed in the top 10 lakes that the DNR
Probably
list
can't
is
claim it
Superior's
because
nowhere to
it's
be found.
yeah. Probably can't claim it because
All
it's
the
not
money probably
all
goes to the
ours.
feds. Right.
Yeah.
So it's probably really
Yeah,
hard to
that
find
could
out
be.
where the money goes and stuff.
That could be like it could be like a federal. Um, I don't know if they have that. You know how they have like state parks? Are
Hmm.
there federal parks? Like that's federal water.
Yeah, like Yellowstone's a
Oh.
national park.
Yeah, national. That's probably what it is. National.
Yeah, and that's feds. Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
national.
It's a good question. If anybody knows, hit us up. There's definitely contact information on the website or a contact form or something. I don't know. I have something up.
Yeah, I got a computer in
uh,
front of me. I probably could Google it, but I
no,
don't. I don't want people
that's
to.
not how we're gonna do it.
I don't want people to hear the keys. I'm being considerate.
Yeah, exactly. So I have these rankings because
Yeah.
I did get curious enough to dive into a little research here, and according to paid license holders, and this is from business.realtree.com. So you know Realtree. You're not into
Yep.
the hunting scene. I was for a minute. Okay, but you still
I
know
know.
Realtree.
Yeah, I still know it.
Yeah. So yeah, business.realtree.com. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely reputable. Though it's
Hmm.
from 2017 data. I did look up some 2019 from fws.gov. It's basically the same thing, just different numbers. Texas, Cali, Florida, Minnesota comes in at fourth. Wisconsin right there in fifth place, which I don't know. I just don't think of Wisconsin as much of a fishing state, even though they're right next door and we have such a close tie to them. And to bring it back to the lockdown that we were talking about, Michigan does come in there.
Hmm.
They are at number 7. They make it
Yep.
in. Not super surprised there, but that seems like that's such a rustic state. I've driven through the majority of Wisconsin and Michigan, and they got that feel about them. But anyways,
Well, they got
if you
Lake
think,
Erie, and that's a real.
yeah, but
I know
if
that
Lake Superior doesn't count for
I know
Minnesota,
they
then
don't count
why
like
would
how
the
you were
other
talking
Great
about. They don't
Lakes?
count the Great Lakes or whatever. But Erie is like a big time smallmouth lake. Kevin Van
Oh, is
Dam.
it?
Kevin Van Dam is from Michigan, and he is
Oh,
like probably the most famous bass fisherman out there. Definitely the
yeah.
most famous one currently. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
Bill Dance and some of those older guys that have been around for a long time probably are
Mm-hmm.
more widely known throughout the generations. But right now, I mean, Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Van Dam, like you can go get KVD stuff and like cheaper, okay quality stuff from Walmart, and you can go and get real high quality KVD stuff from Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, and all that stuff.
Mm.
He's got stuff out there everywhere and all the
Just
different
yeah,
sponsors
he
that he
he
has.
runs the whole gamut from like
Hmm.
he's got the top notch stuff and then the casual stuff too that
Yep.
the average fisherman like me could just go to Walmart and pick up.
Yeah, and I
Hmm.
don't know for sure, but I'm pretty positive that he is the like all time winningest uh bass
Oh.
fisherman out there as far as like
Mm-hmm.
money goes. I don't know as far as tournaments go, like who
Mm-hmm.
holds the record, but he's definitely won a lot of Bassmaster Classics and stuff. And as the years have gone on, obviously the the prize amount goes up, but
Right.
That dude, that dude kills it. He's he's a very talented fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, okay, that would make sense. And he grew up in Michigan, or
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, he's
from
from
Michigan.
Michigan
Yep,
now. So, yeah,
yep, yeah, yeah.
interesting.
He's the reason that I know about the whole boat thing because I was listening to another podcast that they had him on, and he was talking about
Oh,
how they were trying to push to
mm-hmm.
get that allowed to get back on the water and stuff because
Right.
tournament time is coming up here. Well, I mean, it already is down south, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
they, you know, they practice and stuff. It's just like any other sport. They get out there and
Right. Yeah. 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 You have to practice your technique. I totally understand that. And it's also interesting to think about that fishing tournaments are the one thing that may not have to stop. I bet you could do a fishing tournament with social distancing fairly easy because the crowd part, sure, makes for good TV and like shots for the pros themselves when they come in to weigh in and stuff like that. But if you really think about it, the majority of that could still be pulled off,
yeah. Well, some of
I
them,
would think.
some of the tournaments were even changing it around so you weren't having that big um, weigh-in like they used to, where they'd pull you in on
Mm.
your boat and then you'd get out and you'd
Mm-hmm.
show your big fish and stuff. Some of them
Yeah.
were doing it more real time. Like they were already having there would have you'd be this is for the big time tournaments. Obviously you got to have a lot of money to be
Sure.
pulling off this kind of stuff, but there's your pro fisherman is on the boat, and the majority of them had two other guys on the boat with them, one a cameraman and one
Mm-hmm.
like a tournament official, and they
Oh.
were weighing your fish and making sure that you didn't do anything illegal.
Whoa.
Like you can't get off
Really?
your yeah. Well, there's like timed penalties. Like if you get off your boat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're pulling up some spot, and I know I've seen a couple of videos like where a guy has a basket hung up on a dock, but it's a good fish that he doesn't want to
Mm-hmm.
lose. So he takes the penalty and
Mm.
like hops off the boat onto the dock and go and lands his fish real quick,
Oh.
and then they'll go back in their boat and like put the fish in the
Mm-hmm.
live well and then just like lay on the deck of their boat for 5 minutes. Because they're not allowed to do
Wow.
anything. They're not allowed to like retie lures or whatever. They're not allowed to use it like as a little beneficial timeout. They just have to do nothing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Because they can't use it to like rerun the line or, put on
Right.
a new put on a new lure or something like that. Like they literally
Hmm.
time out.
Right. Just timeout. You do
Rod.
nothing for
Yep.
5 minutes.
Rod down, no trolling, nothing. Just stop.
Yep.
Uh, you know, so it's Texas, California, and Florida that are above Minnesota, and I forgot to look per capita. I was like, damn, I should have done per capita to see because think about how big Texas and California are. They're two of the biggest states in the whole entire
Hmm.
United States. And
Yep.
Florida is surrounded by water. And then there's Minnesota right there.
Right.
I I would like to know because I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. So we live in, suburban slash rural Minnesota. We don't live around a
Hmm.
ton of people, but I think both me and you know of a professional fisherman nearby, or and I'm not saying pro, like, we were just talking about Van Dam in Michigan and somebody who is like the most winningest, we're not talking about the fucking Tiger Woods but he's not the only one out there. He's not the only tournament, like if you were, if you knew somebody who played for, uh, say for instance, I was going to use a hockey reference. That's not super great, but like, I'll just say here in Minnesota, the St. Paul Saints, right? If somebody played for the St. Paul
Hmm.
Saints and you knew him, you'd be like, oh, I know a professional baseball player. It's like, who cares that he's not in the major leagues, right? Who cares that he's not specifically playing for the MLB? That is a professional baseball player.
Right.
Well, you may not know this person, but like you've that truck and that boat live nearby somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you have one up the street from you when you were a kid? At the very least.
Mm, probably not in Glencoe. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember that ever being a thing. But now being in St. Cloud, like I know that I see the boats, and I know of like the different like um, sellers in the area. The dealers is what I should say. Like the different boat dealers. A lot of those have like a sponsored pro fisherman. So I know that there's pro fishermen
Oh,
here because I've
okay.
seen them at like the boat shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know that I see them down here, and I'm in the more
So
western
there's
suburbs, but
definitely pro
I
fishermen out
definitely,
there.
let's just say if you have that many
Hello?
stickers on your truck, you're more than an avid fisherman. Like, nobody just gets that Lund sticker and puts it on there along with 10 other ones. At least I don't think. I guess I could be wrong, but
Yo yo
because
yo.
I was recalling that you had one up the road from you that was semi-pro or at least did enough tournaments to maybe not make money but break even or something to that effect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be
But
100% honest with you. I don't know everything you just said. Um, I lost connection for a little while there, and
oh, okay.
when I came back, I was surprised to hear you were still riffing on something. So that's gonna be funny
That's okay.
for anybody listening that it sounds like there was no break because I'm just like, I guess I got disconnected, and then I came back, and you were still like, yeah, and
And I was still going.
just kind of good timing. It's like a
Oh
phone
my
call with
god,
my
that's
wife. Just stop listening for a while and come in right back at the end. Yeah, no, sounds good. You know, chocolate souffle or whatever,
Yep, whatever you want. It's cool.
whatever you want.
All right. Well, on that note, I think it's a perfect time to take a break before we get into topic 2 where we're just gonna riff off Disney for a little while. That's it. That's the topic. We're just gonna talk Disney for a while.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll be back in just a minute.
Should I do beatboxing?
And we're back. Topic 2. We're gonna talk about Disney. The random take of the Real AF TV podcast. Tim,
Hmm.
I want to talk
Yep.
Disney in general because
Yeah.
we've had a lot of Disney on at the house lately. There's just been a lot of TV on. I mean, we're kind of stuck inside. We're not totally stuck inside, but there's just been a lot of free time because we can't go out and fish, I guess, and we can't really do outside social activities that we're used to. So I want to talk about Disney Plus at first because that's how we get our Disney. You don't
Yeah.
have Disney. You don't have
Mm,
Disney at all, or do you still have live TV? How does it
I
do you have
I
any
have
Disney access?
I have Hulu, and Hulu and Disney are like in cahoots. Like so
Yeah, actually, yeah.
when I
Well, actually, that's I think I can get a little nerdy with this and be accurate without looking it up because I'm not going to. It, Disney was like 1/5 of the last third of Hulu or some crazy shit like that, and Fox was actually one of the top halves of the third, and that Disney just bought Fox.
Oh really?
So they're just like, so then boom, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was something like that.
I don't understand your ratio there, but
Well, it's like
makes
there
sense
was
to
like
me.
three portions. There was like three portions to Hulu. There was like
Yeah.
two, two big companies had split a half. Does that
Okay.
make sense? So there was like a half that was split in two, and then there was the last third, and
Yeah.
that was just a bunch of companies, not necessarily small, not necessarily big. It was just like a
That
group of companies who didn't want to fully go in on it, and Disney was in that lower category, and they owned that smaller portion. but I think Fox was one of the ones who owned like half of the top half. But then when Disney bought Fox, of course, it
Yeah,
all gets inherited.
yeah. No, that makes sense. I just thought you said like the fifth or the third or something. I was just like,
I
oh,
mean, it's like this: 50% of the time it works every time.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. It's every time.
Yeah. So no, but I have Hulu. I have Hulu
Yeah,
also.
hmm,
But do you have live Hulu or like?
yeah.
Because I haven't actually found that much Disney on Hulu, and they
I should probably get
probably.
rid of Live Hulu, like for now at least, because I only have Live Hulu for sports.
Oh yeah, shit, that's not
Like
happening.
watch, yeah.
Which actually leads me to ESPN. How long has Disney owned ESPN? When did you know Disney and ESPN
I can't.
same
I
umbrella?
could. Yeah, I couldn't tell you when exactly I realized it happened. I've known for a while, but I have no idea when it was like a. I I guess I didn't know that. Like I I think it was fairly recently I heard somebody say it again, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that, but I never really thought about it again until just now. And that was the same thing with a little while back. Heard somebody talking about chicken eggs and how that you have to have the male there to fertilize the egg, otherwise it will never turn into a baby. And like I probably knew that along the way someplace, but then I heard it again, and I'm just like, oh yeah, huh? Like so
Yeah,
the eggs that we
that's
eat,
right. You
like
do.
literally
Chickens
whenever,
chickens do need a
yeah,
male and a female too to make
yeah.
babies. That's right.
I'm not eating babies. I'm eating just an egg, and that's all it is, as they say.
Though that is a delicacy, I know where to get it, and I will totally eat it one day.
Mm,
I am not
no,
afraid of that.
I am.
Um, but yeah.
The
Uh,
feathers on there and stuff. You're talking about like the fertilized egg, like eating a baby
mm-hmm.
chicken out the egg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I'm
With the
talking about.
bones
I
and
know where to
stuff in
get
it.
it. I've seen it.
I'm
Yeah,
not
there's it.
scared of it. It
Supposedly they're just
grosses
so
me out.
soft you just eat through it. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not
that
sure
sounds
how
gross.
I will feel, but I will try it. I I,
It's
I
so
want to
soft,
try
you just
it.
eat through it.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Just eat the
Well, some
whole fucking baby
actually some
chicken.
people consider that in fish though too. Like I've gotten canned salmon, and there's bones in canned salmon. I don't know if you've ever gotten canned salmon before.
Oh well,
There's
yeah. I
fucking
mean,
bones in
it's
it,
it's
and
hard to get all the
supposedly you're just
bones
supposed to
out.
eat them.
I think that eating the canned salmon with a couple of bones in it is different than eating an abortion. That's just that's what
Chicken
it
abortion.
feels like.
Uh,
Just eating
hey,
an.
do you have any of those chicken abortions in the back?
Hey, I'm looking for them fetuses. You got some of them fetuses? I like mine with
uh,
sriracha.
yeah. So Disney's gonna hear this, and they're just gonna be like, "Yeah, we're cutting those guys off."
Yeah, what is up with these dudes?
Why the fuck are they talking about chicken fetuses and talking about Pixar in the same goddamn sentence?
Disney. I said I'm not gonna eat them, so whatever,
So it's
bro.
like a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Except
So
for
do you
Josh
hate
said
me
he's
not
gonna.
eating it? I totally fucking said I was gonna eat that chicken abortion though. So,
He did. Eat that aborted chicken.
uh, what is on Hulu? That's actually because that's something I'm curious about. Because what on Hulu is Disney? Like what is
Kid stuff.
consumable straight through Hulu?
Kid stuff. I don't know what else is all on there Disney, but like my son watches all that stuff. Like Pup Puppy Dog Pals is Disney.
Oh yeah,
Harlan
shit, I
Harlan
didn't know that.
Williams show. Do you know that that's Harlan Williams show?
What?
Yeah,
Like
Harlan
Harlan Williams?
like
Like, don't eat
uh
the pink popcorn.
yeah, no, he wants him to eat the popcorn and then he dies on accident.
Pop pop
But
pop pop pop.
yeah, pop pop, it makes your teeth go pop 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 pop.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah, I
He
ate
has a
all of it.
Disney show.
I don't have anything. Puppy Dog Pals is his. That's
What?
his show.
What?
Yeah, he's um what's his name? Bingo Rambo, the couple, and then a guy named Bob. Bob. I had to I had to sing the song.
Yes, I know you did. I loved it.
Yeah,
You should have
he's
just
Bob.
did it, dude. You should have just done it out loud. That was awesome. No kidding.
All right, all right, all right, pups. See you later. Hey, hey. They keep calling me fresh fish. What does he say? Everybody wants my cocktail fruit, and everybody loves fresh fish.
And that's a callback to Half Baked.
Yes. So was the pop back. Pop. Oh, we're calling back.
Oh,
Is that what we're talking about? That's
yeah.
what the
No,
horse
no.
does.
Do they really actually say that on Puppy Dog Pals, the fresh fish?
Oh no, no,
Oh, okay. Right.
no. I was talking about half baked,
Yeah.
just like you were with
Right.
the
Yeah.
with the pop.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because I was like, holy crap, they actually made a half baked joke in Puppy Dog Pals. That's
No,
hilarious.
no, it's not. It's uh
Wow,
not
I
that
had no idea
over.
though that he like that was his show. Huh.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
That's pretty
good.
cool.
He's just one of those dudes where like he's funny and awkward, and he's got jokes that are like, you know, they're not
Mm-hmm.
they're not real big zingers, and it's all about the delivery and stuff, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
you take his humor and you put it into the puppy dog pals, and there's just little things that make you laugh at how it's executed, and my son loves him.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
honestly didn't know that Disney, because Disney has been pulling stuff back from Hulu a little bit. I've noticed since Disney Plus came out. But I guess that was sort of, I mean, that was expected. I knew they were going to do that, but it was,
yeah,
I think it was more movies than it was anything because Hulu does have the movies where you have to like watch 90 seconds of commercials before the movie starts or whatever if you have that edition like we do.
yeah,
And it was just a matter of time then, obviously, when Disney was launching
mhm,
their own thing that they were going to start pulling those. So I didn't know they do that.
yeah.
Is like
But
Paw Patrol and shit on there too because I know those are
that's Nickelodeon.
huge.
Yeah,
Oh, whoops.
Paw Patrol's Nickelodeon. That's we don't have
Yeah.
it on there, but we have like free AT&T TV where it
Oh,
doesn't,
really?
like, through our phones, and that one
Did
doesn't
you?
have. We don't have a DVR. It only has a couple of channels, but
Mhm.
um, we can watch Nickelodeon and
Oh,
catch that
shit.
on there. We don't have Nickelodeon on Hulu.
Nice. Yeah, there's a few things on there that we find. I think that's
Yeah, so
I
Puppy
think that's
Dog.
where we get the original Doug, and that
Oh
might
yeah,
be it.
all that stuff.
That's
Yeah,
good
but
shit.
but Disney, like, we literally watch every Disney show on there. There's like three different Mickey Mouse shows. There's there's like
Oh,
your Mickey
yeah.
Mouse
I suppose.
Clubhouse, and there's one that's like a racer one where they all have their own cars, and then there's another one that's like a little bit
Oh, I know
shorter
that one
thing.
actually.
Uh,
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
okay, so my niece and nephew do watch enough of that. I actually know what you're talking about. And I actually thought that's what Disney Plus was going to turn into is a new Disney Channel because all that stuff used to be the daytime Disney Channel stuff when I had cable as a teenager and you would be home during the summer and it would be on Disney or you'd be flipping channels and you would get all that daytime stuff. It seems like they kept Hulu as that sort of Disney Junior almost. Huh. I wonder. I don't really see it
The
on our
Disney
Disney
Junior.
Plus.
We have all the Disney Junior stuff because I know we watch all of them because there's all those Mickey Mouses. There's the Puppy Dog Pals, and then you got
Mhm.
Vampirina. Uh, she's
I don't know that one.
she looks she's purple, and she's a vampire,
Oh, never mind. I know
and
that one. That's
she
all I needed to
she
hear.
goes yeah, she goes to regular school, and she's
Yep.
think of how that song goes. Back
Oh, I'm sure you know it. It just takes
oh
first note, and you'd just be like, "Oh, I know the whole
yeah,
fucking song now."
whoa, Vampirina, I may be blue with pointy teeth.
See,
and then
it
and then
just
she
took a
said
second.
And then the next one is, but I'm not so different underneath. So the whole thing is about like, yeah, she's a vampire and she's different, but she's not
Hmm.
different. She just looks different than you.
Right. Yeah. I think they actually have this like vampire school thing where we watched the show on ABC, also Disney property, that it's called like American Housewife, I think it is. It's got the mom is the girl that was in the Kenny Powers show. You watched that? Did you watch that show where Danny McBride played Kenny Powers on HBO? Fucking shit was awesome.
No, I don't think I saw that.
Oh my god, Eastbound and Down. That's what it's
Yeah.
called. Shit was good. I think it
Oh,
was
that
really
show.
short too. I never
Yeah.
finished it.
No, I've seen like a couple of episodes, but no, I
Yeah,
don't
so
even know
then
how
you,
I got access to that because I don't really have anything I can watch HBO on.
yeah, no, me neither. Which I'm actually reconsidering right now because I really want to watch Chernobyl, but that's a whole different conversation. Um,
Right.
because yeah, we could really go down the HBO one, and neither one of us have it. We could still talk about it for 25 minutes. Uh,
Right.
the Disney Plus thing though, and the ESPN that do you know there's a package now? And you saying earlier, like maybe I should just drop live Hulu because I don't have live
Yes,
TV.
I
Do you
did
know
know.
that there's like a Disney
Yeah.
Plus, ESPN, and something else? I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Maybe it's
Yeah.
Hulu.
Yes, it is Hulu. Yep. I did know that they had a bunch of different stuff all packaged together. Yeah, that's something I should probably look into for now. Because we
But does
could.
ESPN get you enough sports that the live TV version of Hulu wouldn't? Or do you know what I mean? Like, could you replace ESPN, whatever it is, so that you have the ESPN package with your live TV? Or is there stuff on live TV, like, I don't know, like I know because of hockey, is FSN North is like that's where you go to watch the Wild play hockey. You
Yep.
don't get it anywhere else, and it's very, very select networks.
Yeah,
So,
that's the same with the
what do you know?
Timberwolves.
Like, is it
I have no idea. All I know is that sports aren't on, so I don't have to worry about
so?
that
It
part
doesn't
right
really
now.
fucking matter right now.
Yeah, right. There's no sports, so we don't have to worry about it. And as far as football goes, like that's always on regular networks. Like the networks will pick it up. Fox or CBS or
Hmm.
whatever,
Yeah. Do you
depending
get
on who our
antenna though?
opponent is.
Like, can you get
Oh
it on
yeah,
an antenna? Because that would be the only
yes,
way you'd be able to get it. Okay,
yeah. I don't have an antenna set up, but yeah, you can get.
but you could.
Yeah, most of those channels you can get and the majority of the time it's on Fox. The only time
Hmm.
it'd be, I think they still pick it up, even if it's certain nights where like Thursday night ends up being, like
Mm.
I think
Do you
that one
mean
was just on ESPN. That one has changed from year to year. People keep picking that one up
what do you
because
mean? Like the Thursday night football game, or what do you
yeah, I
mean?
think initially Thursday night football game was only on NFL Network, and then it
Yeah,
went
I
to
thought it still
like
was.
no, I think all last year it was on ESPN.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's
Hmm.
that's what I would miss because I don't like to watch just our sports. I like to watch all of them because I do play
Oh yeah.
fantasy football, so
Hmm.
I like to watch my players play.
Right. Yeah. I get you. And you kind of get into college too. You get into college ball a little bit too. Yeah.
If I have time, I like to watch college football. I watch college football more um, before Beckett was around, which is my son's name,
Uh,
in
right.
case
Yep.
people out there don't know. But
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Good clarification. Yeah.
when
That's a
I
good
when
point.
I had like free time on a Saturday, which wasn't very often, but I'm just like, well, I'm gonna watch college football now
Mm-hmm.
because
Huh.
I'm
That makes sense.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
something with like getting older too, I guess. I didn't like to watch college football, and now it's like just sports in general. Like if I got some free time, I want to
Mm-hmm.
watch whatever sport it is. Like let's just watch some sports.
Yeah.
Like
I
so
find so I hate watching baseball on TV. I love watching baseball in real life, but on the right day, and this is just kind of a this is kind of just like a cheap ass thing, or like taking making a reason for a simple thing. But on the right summer day, I can open the windows on a Saturday, turn on a baseball game, and start day drinking, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, I will watch baseball on TV that way. It's as closest to in the stadium as I'm gonna get
Right.
at a drop of a hat. Where I'm just like, you know what? I'm having a Saturday where I don't feel like doing a fucking thing, and I actually have the opportunity. Is it 80 degrees outside? It is. Open that window. Are the Twins on? Huh, shit. Of course they are. They play 500 games a year, and I'll watch baseball on TV.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just can't stand it. It's just this boring sport. Were you into sports as like? Did you watch a lot of sports as a kid? I don't remember that in high school at all.
I always watched football and basketball, but it was always like
Okay.
Minnesota sports. Like
Mm-hmm.
if there was a game on Thursday or whatever that I didn't care about, it wasn't a big deal. Like it'd be
Okay.
Thanksgiving and you'd watch the football games, but I'd never care. And now it's like Thanksgiving comes around and I'm sitting in front of the TV for all the three games, watching all of them. So I don't.
Yeah, I actually really like it. I don't. None of my family gets into it, but I always turn them on. I'm always like, fuck no, you turn on the football game. It's like I don't care if it's background TV. It's like turn on the football game because if I get a chance to sit down, I will watch the football game on Thanksgiving. It's too easy. It's perfect, right? There's you don't have to pay attention to it because the score is always there. You can sit down, you can pay attention to it and be very entertained. I like the format for that. Like even if I get distracted, I may not have missed anything too much.
Yeah, right.
I had to take a deep breath there. I haven't been breathing properly. I don't know why. Um, well, I'm turned sideways looking at my computer and then like trying to okay, what's the next topic? And then I realize I've kind of been holding my breath during that after that sentence. Uh, I want to talk I want to talk a little bit more about Disney Plus before we head out for the evening because I feel like you're investigating it. You you said Mandalorian earlier. I actually have a subscription to Disney Plus and I still haven't watched it. And I think it's because I have this not well, you didn't say it earlier on the podcast. I should say that. People are like, you said it earlier? Did you cut it out? What's going on? But I hear so much about it. Baby Yoda blew up the internet for like 3 weeks. I
Yep.
love that they're doing these originals. I love that they're doing these originals again. And I thought Disney Plus was going to become the Disney Channel, like I had said before. But I don't see a ton of stuff coming out. I don't know if that's supposed to be later. Uh, I I'm not. Maybe the algorithm's just feeding us old stuff because Sarah watches that's my wife. Sarah watches so much of the old Disney originals, and so I don't really know. But the Mandalorian, though, dude, with Disney's budget and the amount of money, like the amount of money they have to just launch this thing that is, from what I hear, because I've never watched it, is like an 8 hour long movie. Like quality wise, an 8 hour movie.
Right.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep.
And I mean,
Totally
it
get
doesn't
you.
shit on. Yeah, it's not to like shit on like Netflix's original series is and stuff like that, but to it's just awesome. I hope that they keep doing that, but I haven't seen anything crazy stand out. But uh, Nat Geo too. I love me some Nat Geo. Had no idea that was a Disney property. It's on Disney Plus. They have a ton of Nat Geo stuff on Disney Plus.
Hmm. Yeah, I like Nat Geo
Yeah.
too. Like I try to get Beckett into it too, like when he's kind of grumpy or whatever, just because it's stuff that I would much rather be watching over that other stuff. Like, hey, look
hmm
at the animals, you know, or
hmm Yeah.
Look at this.
Uh-huh.
Part that sucks though is because he's too little. Because my favorite is learning about like the deep, deep sea. Like I love learning about that weird stuff way down there, and
Yeah,
that stuff is
dude, me
all
too.
way too creepy. That stuff is way too creepy to be shown him. Like he
The best way to
he doesn't
describe
he
the
doesn't
deep
need
sea.
to. Dude, there's no way you could show him that stuff and be like, "Hey, take a peek at this. Like this exists," and he'll just be like, "Oh no!" Like I'm never swimming again.
Right. Yeah, it's
Like
so
even
funny because
Shannon the other day,
even
we were
the
walking in the yeah.
no, go ahead.
You just gotta watch what you say around the kids too, and like I might have overreacted a little bit, but we were walking and there was the river, and I'm like the water's fast moving and it can like wash you away, and Shannon's like yeah, and it's cold, and she's like and there's fish in there, and I'm like don't say that like that's a bad thing, like don't make them nervous of the fish in there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like
Yeah, yeah, because I understand. You were going with the like, hey, look at this is dangerous.
right, and the fish aren't
And
gonna
then you do the fish thing, and it's like, oh, there's fish in there all the time, even when the water's not cold
right,
and rushing at
yeah.
very fast speeds due to flooding.
Well, my thing was like, don't worry about it. Like the fish aren't going to do anything to you. Let's not even focus on the fish. Let's not even talk about the fish right now. We're trying to tell you that the river is dangerous. Let's not go near it. Don't throw fish out there like that's one of the parts that are dangerous. Like you
Right,
have
yeah.
nothing to worry about. Those fish are not going to do anything to you.
Right.
Not these
That's the
rivers
least
at
of your worries.
least. You don't have to worry about like some if we were in a different state, I'd be like, "Hey, let's not get next to the river because these giant Asian carp are going to fly out because
Yeah, knock
that
you out.
happens." Yeah, or the
Yeah,
sturgeon too. Sturgeon, some of the
right.
sturgeon in the warm waters and stuff. I've never
Mm-hmm.
heard of it happening in Minnesota, but down in Florida and stuff, they jump out and they've killed
Yeah.
people. I mean, it's pretty rare, but they've killed people before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just like I think I said it before, but there's a sturgeon fishing that I follow on Instagram, and to watch those things when they have them on the hook to come flying out of the
Hmm.
water, he almost always has a slow mo of it. It's the scariest thing. And I think you actually sent me a video of it, or maybe an article of that one time, and I was just like, "I what? You gotta be kidding me!
Yeah.
A fish that big can even leave the water?" And it's I know you say like, "Well, of course whales can breach the water," but the fact that a sturgeon can do it for some reason blows my mind more because it's a bottom feeder. And I mean, that's I was gonna say in my mind, but that's it's not in my mind. That's just fact. It's a bottom feeder. You just
Hmm.
I personally didn't think of a bottom feeder ever producing that sort of energy or even getting close to the surface of the water. And so it was even more mind blowing because of I thought these things just flop down to the bottom.
Yeah, no, they jump out, and I don't know what it is. Them and uh, carp too. Carp are always jumping out of the water. I don't know what's wrong with those fish. Like why they're just going airborne. Like carp
I think
are just weird fish.
yeah, I think that. And I also think that they are it's I think it's part of their instinct. I think it's part of their survival, and they just bred that way. I think that. Damn it! I hit the stupid tripod again.
Ting.
Anyways, that's enough. Well, no, I want to talk about Disney one more for a little bit longer. Only because, and then we'll get out of here.
They have a new show. They a new
Oh, do
little
they?
kid, yeah, a new little kids show where they're bringing in the Indians. They wanted to incorporate everything, so they have a Mira, and it's
The
she's
like a
like yeah India, yep, and she's a detective, and she's on the case. She's on the case.
I love it.
I like that show though. She's got like two oh I don't know if they're mongoose for sure. Are they mongoose? I think
Uh,
so. They talk, and for some reason,
hopefully they're
people.
not pangolins.
No, they're they're mongoose, I think, but they talk. I don't think they ever explained it in the show, but they talk, and like people can hear them, and it's just fine. Like just yeah,
They're just like cool talking animals. It's a
yeah.
thing. It just
These
happens. It's just part
these
of this
two,
universe.
yeah, but just them two. Like there's cows and stuff that just moo like normal.
Oh,
But Beckett
oh,
absolutely loves
okay.
this one part where they're having like a dance off, and there's one girl trying to sabotage everything, and she takes Mira and her dance partner's music. So then the two mongooses make the beat, and he's like, "We'll be the music." And the one like gets up on the turntable, and it's like going around, and he's like slapping his chest and then his knees, and he's bam, 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 and then the other one starts singing, "You need a beat, you need a song," and Beckett just loves it. He sees that one start like hitting his stomach and his legs, and Beckett
Hmm.
starts doing the other thing and just gets a huge smile on his face. And we're like, yeah,
Yes. Yeah, dude. He's got his dad's rhythm.
word. Just all about that beatboxing. Bam, bam, bam. He loves it.
He's gonna be a little music maker.
I like it too. It's a little catchy. It's real short song.
That's the whole thing.
It's real short song though, because they only do like a half a verse, and then they go, Mia and Bria, or Mira and Bria, take it away, and then they have them
Mm,
dance.
right.
It's
Yeah. They just go into an instrumental and
hmm
animation. Yeah.
it's very
Hey, that's how
circled
it
around
works.
the Indian culture too. You can tell that they were just
Hmm.
like, yeah, here's a different culture. Like, let the
Yep.
kids
And it's a lot of
know.
stuff that you don't necessarily get. You're just like, oh, that okay.
Well,
I don't
I
totally
mean, like,
understand it.
yeah, it's their music. A little bit like
Mm.
twangier
Mm-hmm.
instruments, and they're
Mm-hmm.
dancing in their
I gotcha.
like traditional outfits. And then the episode right after that was about um it was another like competition where the prince had to judge who had the best like decorated camel. Decorated is probably not the word, but like dressed up camel.
Yep.
And they had like things that they were putting on the camels and stuff. So it's just a different culture, giving those
Mm-hmm.
kids a different worldview.
Yep. That's cool. That's
Hmm.
really cool that they're doing that.
Yep.
That's just on Hulu too. Huh. I don't see it on Disney. But again, maybe I'm just not getting that. I mean Disney Plus, I don't see it on. But maybe we're just not getting fed that stuff. You know how those streaming platforms work.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that you'd get it, but maybe that's just
Yeah,
how
like
it
it would just
is.
be new stuff. They would just push to the front. That's how Netflix seems to be working. It's just whatever's new, just push it to the front.
Right.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Uh, they dropped their new Pixar movie too early. We went to see it in theaters. It's called Onward. I don't know if you've seen anything or if you're up
Yeah.
because you're talking about way littler kid stuff, and then Pixar is that sort of branch
Mhm.
between, you know. But they dropped that because of COVID. They just put
Mhm.
it on Disney Plus. Like,
Yeah, I
well, it
heard
was
about
still
that.
technically supposed to be in theaters, and me
Well,
and Sarah had gone seen just before the shutdown, and then it was literally, I think, 3 weeks after we saw it in theaters. We were watching it at home.
right. But it's not just on there for everybody to watch, is it?
Dude, if you have Disney Plus, you
Yeah.
got Onward free.
Really?
Yeah, I
I
couldn't
thought that
believe it.
I thought that was one of those ones where you had to like rent it, cuz I know my sister-in-law had rented like the new Trolls movie. They paid like
Mm-hmm.
$20 for it, but they got it for like 2 days or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
which
And
which
so
is
that
still a
was,
pretty good deal when you think about how much it costs to actually go to the movie.
yeah, I know. I thought the same thing. My sister did the same thing with Trolls. I doubt she even thought about it. She was just like, 20 bucks? Cool. What a good deal. Boom. Let's
Right.
watch it.
Yep.
Yep. But no, Disney just straight up released Onward. And so I think it was, we went inside in the theaters just before everything got shut down.
Okay.
Then the week or then 2 weeks later, they put it up for rent slash buy on all platforms, and
Hmm.
and then that was out for 1 week, and then they just released it on Disney Plus. Like, fine, whatever, you got Disney Plus, you have Onward now. It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy. So I wonder if that is going to change things. With, I mean, going forward, right? Like, I wonder if
Right.
they saw an uptick in subscriptions because I'm sure they did now, but can that translate again? Who knows? With Disney money, anything could really happen. But I just can't
Right.
see them. I mean, they're not going to totally crap on the theatrical release, right? But what if it does just 3 weeks in the theaters and then boom, it's out again? Be
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, they got to pay their actors and all that other stuff. Or I think they probably already did. So I think part of it is them probably getting antsy to get their money back. They're just like, well, I don't want to sit on this, and then once we do open the theaters up, like you're only gonna have to get one person every like 4 seats or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, let's just put it out now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
but
do you remember when? Oh no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say a little bit of a side note. I don't. Have you ever listened to Two Bears, One Cave? Like this is related to that Onward movie,
Oh
but
no.
with it's the podcast with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. They have a podcast
Oh okay.
together, and they call it Two Bears, One
Mm-hmm.
Cave. And they
Okay.
were on there chatting, and Bert is he's a pretty smart guy sometimes, but god damn is he stupid other
Sometimes.
times. Like Jesus, the stuff he says, he's so bad at explaining stuff. If you get a chance, go and check out the interview that he had with uh Adam Sandler. It is horrendous.
Oh,
That one was
okay.
blowing up.
Oh
That
no.
one was blowing up. Like he just everything wrong. Like he was talking to him about his different movies. He called Billy Madison Happy Madison, which isn't too bad because that's like the name of his
The name of the
Sandler's
production
production
company.
company. Yeah,
Right.
and then he called that Uncut Gems Precious Gems,
Oh
and
God.
and then he went and asked Sandler if he has Netflix, and Sandler's I don't know a lot about I don't have Netflix currently, but apparently Sandler has like a Netflix series or something.
Yeah,
And
he
like
did a series of movie. Happy Madison did a series of movies for
do they?
Netflix.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
if you
and he was a star. I think at two of the three or three of the four or something like that.
okay, yeah.
Anyways.
So I didn't know any of this stuff because I don't have Netflix, but I also am not interviewing the guy.
Right, exactly. He just did nothing. He's just like, I don't know, whatever. I used to watch 90s Adam Sandler movies and forget the name of them because I was high.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the
And he
guy's
was
super funny. I know them both from stand up and comedic interviews and stuff like that. So it's
yeah,
not. I don't mean to bag on the guy, but it's like,
yeah,
geez,
yeah. So that was a little bit off topic. Like I was going off topic, and then went another left turn. But
yeah.
what I was getting at
But
was he
anyways,
started. Yeah, he started talking. Bert was talking to Tom and telling Tom about like what his daughter is into recently, and she was talking about like they sit down and they watch a movie every week, all of them together, and he's like, let's watch this movie, or she says, let's watch this movie this week, and I can't remember
hmm
which one it was, but it was super depressing, and she's like, or he says, I don't know, I'm not in the right spot, like space to watch that. And she's like, oh, well then
hmm
check out this one. And she suggests that 1919, and it's like a war film, and he's like, who are you? And then he's like, so we ended up settling on this other one, and the whole time Tom's sitting there just like, what is wrong, huh? And then he gets to Onward, and Bert goes, yeah, so we ended up watching that Onward. It's like a kids movie where like the dad uh like loses the top half of his body, and and Tom just goes, oh my god.
What the fuck?
Just
What
like
kind of movies is she into?
right, and just the way like he doesn't even think to try to explain it better. He just goes, "Yeah, it's
Right.
that movie where the dad loses the
You
top
know,
half of his
the
body."
dad loses his top half of his body. That's the movie. It's like, what? That's
What?
not the movie.
You can't explain it like that. Like it's an animated, it's an animated film where like I don't know how that works. Like I don't know the whole story. I know what he's talking about when because I've
Yeah.
seen the trailers and stuff.
Right.
But
Yep,
if you haven't
exactly.
seen it, that's not how you describe that
That's
movie,
not how you describe that movie. No,
right?
not at all.
It's not like I'd be talking about Billy Madison and just being like, yeah, it's that movie where that one ex golfer gets his hand bit off by an alligator. There's so much more to it. You can't just talk about the one part.
Yeah. Didn't you just say Billy Madison and then describe Happy Gilmore? We'll run that
Yes, I
back.
I think I did.
Run that back because I
I
think
think
that's what just happened, which
I,
I thought
oh,
was funny at first, and then I was like, wait.
yep. No, I totally was thinking. I totally was thinking Happy Gilmore, and then there said Billy Madison, but was talking
At
about
least you
Happy
weren't
Gilmore,
interviewing Adam Sandler at the time, so
right? And I didn't screw up the title. I just said the title to a different Sandler movie, which I think is a little
yeah.
bit different than completely butchering it. But it doesn't matter. It's like
It
myself.
doesn't matter.
People make mistakes, but he made a lot of them in that
But
one.
he made a yeah, I was gonna say, but he made a lot, it sounds like. All right, before we continue the podcast about the podcast, we might as well wrap it up here. Uh, I I like the way you
Yes, if
signed
we.
off last time. It was very good. I don't know if you remember it, so I'm not gonna say it, but we'll talk about it afterwards. But I will sign off the same way that every person. I'm gonna sign off the same way every person should. This is when you're on a Zoom call next time
Yeah.
and everyone's getting ready to hang up. You should sign off the way I'm about to. But before I sign off, Tim, anything you want to say?
No, I don't
That
think
was
so.
perfect. That was perfect. Loved it. All right. This has been the Real AF TV podcast, the show where we talk about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. I've been Josh Labaugh. The other guy on the other end is Tim
Tim
Wagner.
Wagner.
And that's a wrap. Come back and check us out. We are at realaf.tv on Instagram. We are realaf_TV on Twitter. They don't allow for the dots.
Yeah.
Just Google us. Real AF TV. We're out there.
Real AF.
That's just me clapping to the end of the podcast.
All right.
That was us ending it. We're done. We're done here. Thanks, everybody. We're out.